Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. So today we're going to look at something you guys sent in Gary Vaynerchuk's keynote and all his predictions about the future of social media marketing.
Yeah, this should be interesting.
Because he's saying that a lot of what we've been doing on social media is about to become, well, obsolete.
Right. And for those who don't know, GaryVee, he's an entrepreneur and a speaker,
Yeah.
but he's also kind of like this, a social media oracle.
Yeah, he's got that like pulse on what's happening.
He can see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And he breaks it down in a way that's super insightful and also gives you things you can actually do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he starts right off the bat with this really bold prediction. He says, Google search, as we know it, is going to be dead within 7 years.
Yeah.
And he's not kidding.
No.
He's totally serious about this.
His argument is that AI tools like ChatGPT are going to completely change how we search for information.
Have you found yourself using AI more instead of going through like a meticulous Google search?
You know what?
Like, I feel like I have.
I have too. It's almost like you're having a conversation with an expert
Exactly.
who just gets you and can give you exactly what you need.
Right. But that begs the question, though, what happens to businesses that are relying on Google search for leads if everybody's going to AI for answers?
That's where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
Because he says that this actually levels the playing field in a way.
Okay.
And it really favors the people who have built strong brands through consistently showing up on social media.
Interesting.
He says this is the death of the follower count
Okay.
and the rise of something he calls the interest graph.
So break that down for me. What is the interest graph and why is it so important?
Okay, so in the past, social media was all about getting as many followers as you could
Right.
and hoping that they would see your stuff.
It was a numbers game.
Total numbers game.
Right.
But now algorithms are getting a lot smarter.
Mm-hmm.
They analyze your content and they show it to people who are actually interested in what you're talking about.
Regardless of whether they follow you or not.
Yeah, exactly.
So even if I have a smaller following, my content can still reach a huge audience if it's actually what people are looking for.
That's the game changer.
It is.
And that's why posting consistently and posting across multiple platforms is more important than ever. Because you're basically casting a wider net
Right.
to find those people who are genuinely interested in what you have to say, even if they don't even know who you are yet.
Yeah, so it's less about like how many people follow you and more about how engaging your content is and how well it aligns with what people are looking for.
Precisely. You have to think about your content strategically in terms of the value that it provides.
Okay.
GaryVee's whole mantra is don't just sell, teach.
So what does that look like in action? Instead of constantly like promoting my product or service,
Right.
I should be focusing on giving information that establishes me as an expert and builds trust.
That's it. Think how-to videos,
Okay.
common mistakes people make, behind the scenes, looks at your work, anything that provides genuine value to your audience.
I like that. So like a little sneak peek.
Yeah, and he tells this great story about how his, brutally honest wine reviews
Yeah.
that were almost confusing to people at first actually ended up building trust and really helped to explode his father's wine business.
Interesting. So being authentic and providing that real value can really pay off.
It's a testament to the power of that.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's about being genuine, sharing your expertise, and focusing on teaching instead of just constantly selling.
That's a really powerful shift in perspective.
It is. It is. And I think we can all learn from that.
And don't forget the importance of injecting your personality into the content, too. You don't have to be the star of every video.
Right.
But showing your passion and expertise for what you do can make a huge difference.
Okay, so we're creating this valuable, personality-driven content across all these platforms.
Yes.
But how do we actually turn that content into, tangible results?
Yeah. He's got a very specific strategy for that.
I'm listening.
He calls it turning organic content into targeted ads.
Ooh.
So think of your organic social media posts as a testing ground.
Okay.
When a post performs well organically, meaning it gets lots of views and engagement,
Right. People liking it.
you know that it resonates with your target audience.
Okay, so we're using real-time data to figure out what's actually working.
Exact.
Okay, what do we do next?
Then you take that high-performing post and you boost it as a targeted ad
Okay.
to a local audience.
So you're not just blindly throwing money at ads.
No.
You're using data to figure out who's going to be interested.
Yeah, you're using data-driven insights to target the people who are most likely to actually want what you're selling.
It's all about maximizing our ROI.
That's it.
I like it.
So you're taking something that's already working
Uh-huh.
and you're amplifying its reach.
I love that.
That's really smart.
And he used this himself to really great success with his father's business.
Wow. Proving that it can actually have a real impact on your bottom line.
That's awesome. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the death of Google search, the rise of the interest graph, this whole idea of organic content. But it's all happening in this digital space.
Mm-hmm.
Is there still a place for, you know, genuine human connection, the future of marketing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Good. In fact, he dedicates a significant chunk of his keynote to what he calls the thank you economy.
Okay.
Even in this age of algorithms and automation,
Right.
genuine human connection can make all the difference.
You know what? I think a lot of people are craving that.
I think so too.
Like in a world that feels increasingly impersonal,
Uh-huh.
I think people are craving that personal touch.
Exactly. And he's not talking about generic thank you emails or anything. He's talking about reaching out to past customers in meaningful ways.
Got
It could be a simple phone call to check in, a handwritten note, a small gift that shows that you actually appreciate their business.
I love that.
These gestures can go a long way in building those lasting relationships.
Those small touches really do make a difference.
They do.
It makes people feel seen and valued.
And he has an incredible story to illustrate this point. He once sent a signed Jay Cutler jersey to a customer who had made a relatively small purchase.
A signed Jay Cutler jersey.
Yeah.
That seems random.
It wasn't random at all. He did his research and found out that the customer was a huge Chicago Bears fan.
Ah, okay.
And that unexpected gesture eventually led to a $6,000 order.
Wow.
From a friend of that customer.
Oh my goodness. That's a testament to the power of genuine connection.
It really is.
Sometimes the most effective marketing strategies are the ones that prioritize human connection and just kindness.
It's a good reminder that even in this fast-paced world of digital marketing, those personal touches can have a ripple effect that goes way beyond that initial interaction.
Yeah, I love that.
That's awesome.
It's really cool. Yeah, it's amazing how one small gesture can have such a ripple effect.
It really is.
And create so much more business down the line. All right, and it just highlights the fact that we need to be thinking beyond just that one transaction.
Yeah.
You know, it's about building those relationships.
Exactly.
But let's go back to that prediction about Google search for a second. Did GaryVee, elaborate on what he sees replacing it?
He did. He sees AI tools like ChatGPT becoming like these ultimate intent-based search engines.
What does that look like?
So imagine a world where instead of typing in keywords, you're having a conversation with an AI
Okay.
that understands exactly what you need and delivers the perfect match for you.
So instead of searching plumber near me, I could say to the AI, I need a plumber who specializes in vintage faucet repair and can come to my house tomorrow.
Exactly.
And it would just handle it.
Yeah, no more sifting through pages of search results.
Oh my gosh.
Clicking on countless ads. The AI is like your personalized concierge,
I like that.
connecting you with the businesses that best meet your needs.
That's pretty mind-blowing. So this means that businesses can't just rely on SEO or ad spending anymore. They have to be top of mind, a brand that people trust and go to directly.
That's why he's so adamant about building your brand presence through social media.
Yeah.
It's not a nice to have anymore, it's essential.
I'm really starting to see the bigger picture here. But I gotta be honest. The idea of creating content every single day feels a little daunting. Where do we even start?
He talks about that too. The key is to really focus on providing value.
Okay.
What questions are your customers always asking? What mistakes are they making?
Yeah.
What insider tips and tricks can you share?
So it's less about look at me, I'm great, and more about here's how I can help you.
Exactly. And he encourages people to think beyond just the obvious,
Yeah.
maybe in your industry you could create a video series.
Okay.
Showcasing interesting projects you've worked on,
Ooh,
the challenges you faced, the creative solutions that you came up with.
that's a great idea. It's a way to showcase expertise without being too promotional about it.
Exactly. And don't forget, repurposing content.
Oh, yeah. Can you talk about that a little bit more? I wasn't sure I fully grasped that concept.
So it's all about working smarter, not harder.
Okay.
Let's say you write this fantastic blog post about how to choose the right faucet for your kitchen.
Go.
You can take that content and turn it into short, engaging videos.
Oh, okay.
For platforms like TikTok or Instagram, you could make eye-catching infographics for Pinterest, or even just share a series of tips on Twitter.
So one piece of content can be transformed and shared in all these different ways.
Exactly. You're maximizing the reach and impact of your content by tailoring it to different formats and different audiences.
It's like a content multiplier.
Yes.
I love that. But what about those of us who aren't, naturally charismatic or comfortable on camera.
He talks about that too. You don't have to be the star of every video.
Okay.
Get creative with different formats. Maybe you do a voiceover while you're showcasing your work. Or you could even interview other experts in your field.
So I could interview like a local interior designer.
Yes.
About the latest trends in kitchen faucets.
That's a fantastic idea.
That's a good one.
You're providing valuable content. You're building relationships with other businesses.
Right.
And you don't have to be the center of attention.
I like that. But I know what you're thinking. This all sounds very time-consuming.
I know.
As business owners, we're already juggling a million things.
Right.
How are we supposed to find the time for all of this?
He talks about priorities. He says there's almost nothing you're doing in your day-to-day that's more important than building your brand.
He's got a point.
He does. If you're clinging to outdated marketing strategies that aren't working anymore, you're wasting valuable time and resources.
Exactly.
And you don't have to do everything yourself either.
Okay.
You can delegate tasks like video editing or social media management to free up your time, to focus on your strengths.
Sometimes we try to be superheroes and do it all.
I know.
But it's okay to ask for help.
Absolutely. Delegating frees you up to focus on what you actually enjoy.
Right. Connecting with customers and building your business.
Okay, so let's say I've embraced this, new school social media. I'm creating valuable content. I'm using the interest graph to my advantage. I'm even dabbling in targeted ads.
Yes.
What about this thank you economy? How do I incorporate that too?
He sees those two paths as not mutually exclusive, but complementary.
Okay.
You can leverage the power of social media to reach new customers. And then deepen those relationships through genuine human connection.
So it's not just about acquiring new customers, it's about nurturing those relationships and turning them into loyal fans.
Precisely. The thank you economy is about exceeding expectations, making people feel genuinely valued.
I'm already brainstorming ideas. I could send a handwritten thank you note with a small gift card to a local coffee shop for every new customer.
That's a great example.
It's thoughtful, personalized, and it supports another local business.
Exactly. It's something that would really stand out in today's digital world.
Yeah, it would, for sure. It's those small, unexpected acts of kindness that make a lasting impression and turn customers into raving fans.
And they come back for more?
They do, and they tell their friends.
They tell their friends and family?
Exactly, but I understand.
Yeah.
That all of this...
It can feel overwhelming.
It can. We're talking about big changes, and change can be scary.
Change can be intimidating.
Yep.
Especially with something as fast-paced as social media. It feels like the rules are constantly changing.
He reminds us that the only constant is change.
Right.
Those who are willing to adapt and embrace new ideas are the ones who will thrive.
So we have a choice.
We do.
Cling to the past and risk getting left behind, or step into the future and create something amazing.
He puts it bluntly, don't be in the middle. It's the worst place.
Well, choose your path and commit.
Yes.
All right? I like that. And he even compares sticking with outdated marketing strategies to relying on, let's just say, a certain print directory that's about as relevant as a rotary phone these days. That's a powerful visual I won't soon forget. It really puts things in perspective.
Yeah.
What are we holding on to that's no longer serving us? What's our yellow pages moment?
That's a powerful question to reflect on. Are we letting fear or inertia hold us back from embracing these new possibilities?
It's easy to get comfortable with what we know, even if it's not working as well as it used to. But as GaryVee says, if you're not growing, you're dying.
So true.
And in this fast-paced world of social media, standing still is basically the same as moving backwards.
It is. So it's about finding that balance, leveraging the reach and the efficiency of social media, but also maintaining that personal touch that builds genuine connections and turns customers into loyal fans.
It sounds like the main takeaway here is that we really need to change how we think about marketing. We can't just rely on those old methods that worked in the past.
Right. It's about taking advantage of all these new possibilities offered by social media and AI, but at the same time, remembering that human connection is so important. Building those genuine relationships.
It seems like a lot of what GaryVee is talking about comes back to that idea of authenticity.
Yeah.
Like being true to yourself and your brand and letting that come through in everything that you do.
He really emphasizes that. He's got this great quote.
Yeah.
The market will tell you what's working. You just have to pay attention.
Yeah, pay attention. That's a great point. We need to be, observant and responsive and constantly kind of fine-tuning our approach based on what our audience is telling us. Speaking of our audience, what are some key takeaways for them? What can people listening do, like right now, to start implementing these strategies?
Okay, well, first and foremost, they need to commit to creating valuable content. Ask yourself, what are those questions your ideal customers are always asking? What are their pain points? How can you provide solutions and really establish yourself as that trusted expert?
And remember, you don't have to be like a social media superstar.
Yep.
Just be yourself. Be authentic. Let your passion come through.
Exactly. Second, they need to embrace the power of that interest graph,
Yeah.
Diversify your content across different platforms. Experiment with different formats.
Okay.
Use your analytics to see what's working with your target audience.
Okay.
And third, don't underestimate the power of the thank you economy.
Yeah, find those creative ways to show appreciation to your customers.
Go the extra mile to make them feel valued.
Yeah.
Whether it's a handwritten note, a small gift, a phone call just to check in.
Those little touches can make a big difference.
Huge. And finally, remember, this is a journey, not a destination. The social media landscape is constantly evolving.
Yeah.
So be prepared to adapt, experiment, never stop learning.
GaryVee said it best, I think, when he said, the best marketing doesn't feel like marketing.
So true. When you're genuinely providing value, building relationships, exceeding expectations, it doesn't feel like work at all.
It feels like a natural extension of who you are and what you stand for. And that's the kind of marketing that creates a lasting impact.
It does.
The kind that transforms businesses and builds legacies.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been an amazing deep dive. I feel like we've really gotten a glimpse into the future of marketing.
We have.
And now it's up to everyone listening.
Yeah.
To decide how they're going to adapt and thrive in this exciting new landscape.
And if you want to go even deeper into GaryVee's insights,
explore his content.
Definitely worth checking out.
He's got so much to offer. So that wraps up our deep dive for today. Until next time, keep those brains buzzing and those connections strong.